Hello, welcome to my channel. You can find the worksheet below this video. Let's start our lesson. Try to find the value first. Let's do it together. The first one is 9 over 16 to the power of negative 0.5. And in this way, we can first solve this negative mark sign. And we know that for the negative exponent, we need to flip their positions. For this part, so we change 9 from top to bottom, 16 from the bottom to top, and then we can change this decimal to fraction, so it's half, and then we can change for the root, it's the square root, 16 and then 9, and then the answer is 4 over 3. So number 2, the same, we solve the negative sign first, and then we need to change the 4 from bottom to the top, so it's negative 4, and then we change the decimal to fraction, it's 3 over 2, and in this way we can rewrite this one in square root negative 4 and then raised to the power of 3, and then we find for here for this one, and I can show you for this part. If we have a root like this, and if n for the degree is even, and for the a must be positive, and then we can look at this one, and then the negative 4 is negative, so this expression has no meaning. Try to write each radical as a power in the form a to the power of n. Let's do together. The first here is the general formula, and x to the power of a over b, and we can rewrite as the ax to the power of a under the root of b. And then for the first one, and the first one we can write like a to the power of 3 over 5, and then for the second one we can write like a to the power of 4 over 5, and number 3, and we know this is 2, and then we can rewrite this one as a to the power of 5 over 2. And for number 4 is a little bit complex. Variable a is the denominator, and so first we can change the root, and so we can write in this way, and we can rewrite this a to the power of negative 1/4. And the fifth, so the first we can change this part to a to the power of 5 over 4, and then we can change the positive power to the negative, and so it's a to the negative 5 over 4. Okay, let's try to find the values. Okay, let's try to find the values of these problems without a calculator. And the first one, and we can rewrite the first part and as 64 to the power of 1/3, and then we can rewrite it 64 to the power of 1/3, and then to raise to the power of half, and based on the power of a power, and it's 64 to the power of 1/6, and it equals to 2. And then next one, number 2 we can rewrite like for 625 to the power of 1/4, and then and then we can change the positive exponent to the negative, is 625 to the power of negative 1/4, and it equals to 1/5. And number 3, and for the first part, and we can write is 2401 to the power of 1/2, and then we can write 2401 and raised to 1/2, and then raised to 1/2, and it equals to 1/4, and the answer is 7. Try to write the equivalent expressions. So number 1, we can write the cube root of p over q to the power of 4, and then we can distribute the 4 to each part, and it's like this. Okay, and for number 2, we can write the 4th root of p over q and to the power of 3, and then distribute the exponent to each part. Okay, and for number 3, we need to solve the negative sign first. So we need to flip the fraction, and we can get this one, and then we can find this expression is as same as number 1, so the answer is this. And number 4, the same, we need to solve the negative sign first, and now we need to write the 4th root of this expression to the power of 3, and then distribute 3 to each part. So okay, and number 5 is as same as the second step of problem 4, so we can get the answer. We can just copy the answer. And for number 6, we need to solve the negative sign first. Flip the fraction, and then we can write the 3rd root of the expression to the 4th power, and then we can distribute the exponent to each part. Let's try to find out if these expressions are equivalent. So number 1 is the simplified form, so we don't need to change anything. For number 2, we can change the exponent and change to a to the negative 4 to the power of negative 4, and then and then to raise to the 3rd power, and it's a to the negative 12. Okay, so 1, 2 are not the same. And how about number 3? And for number 3, we can know, and we can change into the power of 1/3, and raise to negative 4, and then we can get is a to the power of negative 4 over 3. So 1 and 3 are the same. How about number 4? Number 4 is a to the power of 4 over 3, and then we need to flip the fraction, so it's a to the negative 4 to the power 3. So a 1, 3, 4 are equivalent, and number 2 is different. Thank you for watching. If you like my teaching, please click the subscribe button. Please let me know your questions in comments.